So what's dating in Sydney, Australia like these days?
Okay.
No.
How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Okay. Single mom.
Single mom?
Yes.
Is
Okay, we're off to a bad start.
that why I hear you saying fuck man?
Fuck men. Yes.
Okay.
No, but these
Man hater. Okay, second red flag.
days it is so hard to find a man
Okay.
that is.
Okay, let me interpret that in womanese. She can't find the man that she wants, and she's probably over the hill. And all of those really the top tier men that she was banging in her 20s, they never wanted her, and that doesn't mean that she's gonna settle, guys. Come on.
Willing to take, I suppose, responsibility. As a single mom, I
Okay, let me interpret that in womanese. That means a man who's willing to come along and tolerate the fact that she's a single mother and pay for everything. Come in and basically be a pay pig for the family.
have my own house. I look after my children. I pay my own bills, and
Oh, she's got multiple children. There's a lot of baggage there. It's not just one.
I cannot find a man that is equivalent to me.
Do you think
She cannot find a man that is, see what she said there? That is equivalent to me, on my level. Let me interpret that. It means she wants a man that is far superior to her, that is going to drop his standards for a single mother. And if she's, and he's going to be good looking, he's going to be wealthy, he's going to be everything. And on top of that, he's going to be submissive to her. That's what she's wanting as well. That's another factor on her level. The thing is, she doesn't understand that her level isn't 21 anymore. Her level is single mother in probably 30s. So it's way lower.
have you been traveling around? Do
I did, yes.
you think this is a Sydney thing or international?
No, it's been around for a very long time. Like, if you watch the old episodes of Sex and the City,
Yeah.
like, the same
Oh, she's showing her age there.
shit happens. Men don't call, you go out with men. It's the same shit. Like, it's the same scenario.
Now, as you can see there, she's standing in Sydney CBD. It looks to me like she's near Martin Place. I really hope at her age, as a single mother, she's not going to the Ivy, because that looks like it's near Wynyard. Now, is she going to find a man who's going to want to settle down within her age range in this environment at nighttime? No, she's not. She needs a kind of desperate 50, 60-year-old man, really, in reality.
So it's just now with online dating. There you go. And now men don't approach women. When I was younger in my early 20s, I had men.
Okay, let me interpret that and put a caveat in there. When she was in her 20s, everybody wanted her, so everyone would have been approaching her. But also, I don't know how old she is, but maybe when she was younger, the dating apps weren't around. Maybe when she was, 18 to 21, mid-20s, she's probably quite old, so she was probably a stunner in her, 18 to 25-year-old range. There's probably a lot of guys approaching her when she would go out and drink and hit the clubs or even day to day. Also, being a lot younger, maybe she was around before the apps, and so therefore there was a lot of guys approaching her because the apps weren't that people weren't using the apps that much. And also, I'll add one more thing. If you're watching this, there aren't a lot of guys that are approaching these days. So just by approaching, you can get way hotter girls. Because you got to understand, we're in an arms race with women. Love is a battlefield. And so there's a woman like this, she wants, let's just say she wants a 45-year-old millionaire, 6'2", who's willing to, has a good career and status and wears a suit everywhere, Sex and the City style Mr. Big, and also so competent that he's able to have all of those things, while simultaneously willing to throw away everything he's built just for her and be a simp for her, which is really difficult for her to find, maybe impossible for her to get. And that same guy at 45, he wants a 21-year-old, He wants a 20-year-old. He wants that hot babe that's in the club that everybody wants, that everyone's approaching. He wants her, 15, 20 years ago. We don't know how old she is yet, but that's what he would want. And that's the game that we're playing here, guys. And how can you put the leverage in your hands? By approaching, because there aren't a lot of guys approaching.
Approaching me left, right, and centre. But now men don't know how to approach women.
Why? Do you think we're shy?
I think men have lost their confidence.
Understand. Back to the...
Well, there's two tiers there. There's two parts to that. It's that she's older and guys aren't approaching her because they're just not interested. And there is a little bit of truth to it because, online dating, the phones, and COVID damaged, the social ability of most people worldwide. When COVID kicked in, all of the teenagers are now full-blown adults 5 years later, and the dating market's just full of people who basically spent a lot of their teenage years and early 20s locked inside wearing a mask for 3 years approximately. And it damaged their ability to socialize. So, if you're approaching now, you have a massive advantage.
3 words to describe yourself. Single mom, what else?
Single mom, independent, and strong.
And boss babe.
How old are you?
37.
37. 37. 37. So, why wasn't she able to keep the man? Because men ain't nothing. Why wasn't she able to keep him? What went wrong with the relationship? What was the real truth? Because she won't tell you the truth. If she can't keep the man, the father of her children, she can't keep him, the first one, well, we're assuming that's the first husband, even if they did get married, who knows? What's the likelihood if let's just say you are, so she's 37, let's just say you're 41, you're at the perfect age range for her, you are a multimillionaire, you're fully qualified, educated, you got your career firing on all cylinders, you look at this and you're like, yeah, she's hot. I'm going to keep this 37-year-old with single mother, and that you can get yourself a 21-year-old or a 25-year-old, or you just don't have the confidence, you don't think you're capable of doing it. And you're just thinking, look, I'm going to lower my standards to this girl here. What's the likelihood of her pair bonding with you? What's the likelihood of her respecting you? And what's the likelihood of that relationship lasting, even though because she's got a long history, clearly, of not being able to keep men. That the man that you have the children with, that better be the man that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Otherwise, you messed up, woman. Okay? You messed up. She didn't say widower. Like, if she said widower, then it would be a different story altogether. Okay? This is someone, that needs to take responsibility for the failure of that relationship. And it doesn't seem like she is. The fact that she's out at 37 years old in the clubs, competing with 18-year-old girls in the nightclubs. It seems like she's out. It's nighttime. There's a lot of guys walking behind her that look like they're under 25. Some of them look like they're like 20. So how many younger men is she sleeping with as well? There's a lot of factors here that you need to take into account.
Davin, what's a green flag in a man now?
What's That's a green flag.
She doesn't even know. That tells you more about her.
I think it's just the fact that if they want to like take things on, that's
She hasn't even thought about this. The fact that she needed to think about that, what is a green flag? Well, I think it seems like she knows what she wants, but she can't get what she wants. And the ones that she wants, they're not willing to stick around. That's why she had to think about it. There's no real category, or she didn't really think about it at all. I guess the older you get as a single mother, I guess the standards would lower, but she will feel like she's settling for you, even though in reality her value's so low and she's just not aware that her value's so low. If you were aware that your value's that low, you wouldn't be out late at night, like where she's standing there in Sydney CBD, probably talking to a YouTuber, being interviewed by a YouTuber at like midnight by the looks of things, or something like that, standing on George Street.
that's just how it is. Like I'm not looking for someone who's taking to be a father figure. I'm just looking for someone who wants to be a part of my life.
Yeah, and that's where it gets a little bit sad too. You know, they have their fun, they have a few kids, and then they go out. Who knows? This might have only been the only time in 6 months she's gone out, and she just ran out of options. She's probably got on Tinder and got a bunch of one-night stands, and the guys just didn't want to come back. Also, keep in mind, a lot of this, you know, she needs to take responsibility for it as well. If she's on the dating apps and she's matching with guys that are 40 or under 45, and she thinks that that's still within her range at 37, then she's deluded. She's aware that she's lonely. She's aware guys don't want to hang around, but she's not aware of how low her value has become. And I think that's part of the issue as well. You know, if a 50-year-old guy matches with her, and all of his hair is grey, he's got a bit of a gut on him, and he's just doing like he's just middle class. He's probably still paying off a mortgage or something like that. That's where she's at. Even though she might still be well put together in her 30s, you know, she might think that she's doing really well, but that's the reality of what her range is. That's the reality. And, you know, you got to feel bad for her when she says, I'm a bit lonely. But it's also like, there are guys that would probably at 50 years old or 55 years old want to date her, or maybe even consider taking her seriously. But is she meeting those guys? Has she met some of them and then she's flaked on them or ghosted them because she still thinks that she can get this, 43-year-old man that's 6 years older than her, or 40-year-old man that's only a few years older. But there's a lot of 40-year-old men that she would match with on a dating app that might sleep with her on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But at 40, they might hit the same club as her, trying to get themselves a 25-year-old. You see? So that 40-year-old is aiming 15 years younger, or 20 years younger if he could possibly do it. So at 37, in reality, it's a 50-year-old guy that's within her range. And the X factor is the kids. But for you guys at home, you know, this is the arms race. This is the constant battle that we're in as men. You know, we're looking for the best we can get while they're looking for the best they can get. So we're constantly looking past each other. Okay, and so the ultimate hack here, and she actually just gave you guys the key. That's learning cold approach, because the dating apps, they're getting more and more complex every day. The algorithms, the ages on there, the photos, people are using AI, the editing's out of this world, and the lies, the catfishing is on another level now. and the social media, and there's people that will hire experts on dating apps and experts for social media apps like Instagram, and then they will pay a lot of money to get the best possible profile, hoping to use that as leverage to get a girl, you see. And the women are experts as well. And there's one thing that people aren't putting their time and effort into, and that's learning cold approach. And here's my pitch. Check out my website, learn cold approach from an expert. I will teach you, and I do online coaching no matter where you are in the world. Check out my website, top link in the description. Come and learn cold approach, which is your only leverage left. The old is now new again, and she just gave you guys the key to it. So fill out the form, come do some coaching. I guarantee you that it'll put you in front of girls that you're not going to be able to get in through the apps, no matter what you hack or catfish or edit or Photoshop or get professional photos. The hack is actually finding the girl and meeting her in real life and approaching her and cutting out all of these apps, all of the middlemen, all of this technology, and going straight to the source. That's the hack. I'll see you guys soon.